के बाद आपके निरीक्षण के लिए एक और भाग है। और कंट्री करने को all of you come together. Let's see. Venkat, do the job. Okay, all the best. Thank you. Thank you. One here.
Welcome to TiHAN. On this momentous occasion of the institute, I am pleased to call that TiHAN Foundation is very pleased to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Divya Singh, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology and Government of India, Dr. Shivan Service Secretary, DST Government of India, Dr. V.V.R. Mohan Reddy, Chairman, BOC, IIT Hyderabad, Professor V.S. Murthy, Director of IITH, and our respected TiHAN fraternity for the inauguration of IITH on campus certification Testbed. I would like to invite for the ribbon ceremony.
एकं दीनं जपमूर्ताते नमो नमः एकं दीनं मूर्ताते नमो नमः मूर्ताते नमो नमः
Of the solutions, please choose your option.
Madam,
outside line.
he has done go down. Come. We'll do it. Come. Sir, next. Next. Shoes, please. So, that's right.
Mas como coisa, obrigado. Beleza. Para pijar, não pijar. Não, temporada. Não, temporada só. Thank you. Thank you. Please, yeah.
Everybody. In the open sky.
Yeah.
Okay, take this one. Canada the same as that as before. So that what you can treat it like a human being also. But I have a bad life. We can use the awareness. I got
My family himself, because of the friction to me, he can generate the energy over here. So this is the energy because of the plastic. Generally, the problem is don't stay. So now with the plastic is the here. For example, Vishal, can you try? Fine. Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Here are about 18, 25.
In the ground, you are.
kg payload.
इधर रहेगा तो पोता है
How long is the path? And we know 15 kilometers. 15 average kilometers per second. Not bad. Can shift to the nearest health center or something.
Even the proposal as an ambulance, the way we have designed it with very solving some healthcare logistics to having it out there and
Outside and can carry drugs,
yes, medicine, like lightweight can be carrying medicine. And not only platform, that's what we work for technology to make their grading navigation with BD laws for adding much more reliability to people to switch to autonomous vehicles. And drones, we come up with a lot of use cases and like requirements.
where do you keep the here? There. It has to be kept empty, you know.
Yes.
Okay.
The cabins were
Yeah, real outside.
Real drone is outside it will level.
Okay.
also in Delhi regions.
Yeah.
I like it.
Everything. Platform. One. And it can get here.
Every day you carry passengers.
Program it. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay.
Have been tested for human capital. Yes.
So one right?
Small, right? We want.
These are the sensors which are actually used for autonomous navigation.
Different kinds of sensors.
Second.
How much distance you are? It's points. So you are at around 0.8 meters. So it knows how far you are. Accordingly, it knows that it has to stop or it can go further. So there is a minimum distance that they maintain between an obstacle.
Yes.
Where is our vehicle?
Yes, sir.
This one?
No, there is not. Bring the roots like roots. Go to the command room.
Okay.
Airspace fully
Here
molded.
also you can see, sir.
Roots.
No, roots. Root vehicle. Hurry vehicle.
So we can.
Why that?
Why the GPF accuracy of integrated. Run.
Come here. Should be here.
Yes, that's yeah. Wait. Okay. Wait. Somebody there. Where is no? Somebody sitting. Please give space. One minute. Sir. Sir. No. Sunil. Sunil. Wait. Okay. Let's start. Okay. Okay. Hey. Don't go in front. Hey, don't go in front and back, guys. But I entrance fee is no. Yeah, okay. Hello. Hello. Yeah, thank you. Cycle you need. So you can order it. Put in shelter. Yeah. That's simple. Actually, the most
Yeah, 500 meters. So that you can see. Similarly, if the vehicle is coming in front of you in the opposite direction, so you come to know well in advance so that you can.
Each vehicle should be connected to each other.
Each vehicle is going to be connected, including pedestrians. Okay, so pedestrians, most of them will have mobile, so we will connect it to the mobile. So, only there is that vehicle.
Manless vehicle. Car जा रहा होगा. Can it go back and then go?
Please give some path. Sridharam, side. It will come.
The bus stop में stops. Then the next stop to each stop. Signal आता है रुक जाता है फिर जाएगा. You need a signal basically. So only after that.
Actually, the thing is, on the bike, the person will be going there and he will be getting into the vehicle.
Yeah, when it takes the turn, you can see it.
Yes, sir. Side. Side. Aishwarya.
Like a magic car. I know, sir.
In fact, how much kilometer I go with it? 2 days.
Because these are the spirits which he was trying to. I think it's going properly. I think it's going well.
How is driving the car? Actually, yeah.
सब कुछ चला रहा है
హలో ఈ జీరోలో కదమ్మా అది నేను పంపించా కదా 600 అని ఉంది కదా రెండోది పెట్టు దాంతో కన్ఫర్మ్
Gate of the advantage.
Where we
Stop there.
no, you can stop. You can break. No, stop.
But some pilots are in the front.
సౌండ్ వెళ్తా ఒకసారి టెస్ట్ పెట్టండి ఒకసారి రౌండ్ చేసేసి ఒక రౌండ్ చేసి
Really appreciate you taking time.
Vitali, please start.
A warm welcome and a hearty good morning to one and all present here. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Jitendra Singh Sir, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge of the Ministry of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Srivari Chandrasekhar Sir, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy Sir, Chairman, Board of Governors, IIT Hyderabad, Shri Kotha Prabhakar Reddy Sir, Member of Parliament, Medak, Professor B.S. Murthy Sir, Director, IIT Hyderabad, Deans and HODs, faculty, staff, students, friends from media, and everyone joining us through the virtual platform. I'm Prakriti, an MTech Smart Mobility student at IIT Hyderabad, and this is my co-host Rubina, a PhD scholar at IIT Hyderabad. On behalf of TiHAN IIT Hyderabad, we are privileged to welcome you all to the inauguration of TiHAN IIT Hyderabad Autonomous Navigation Testbed, Aerial and Terrestrial. Today's program started with a demonstration of cutting-edge autonomous navigation technologies such as electric campus shuttle vehicle, unmanned aerial vehicles, e-bike, and autonomous humanoid robot in the test bed. And now, without any further ado, I invite our director, Professor B.S. Murthy Sir, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, friends. It's really a great day for all of us at IITH and for the TiHAN that our Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, is with us to inaugurate the TiHAN testbed. And he has just gone to the TiHAN and seen the great research that has been going on. IITH has been doing a lot of work in various fields, starting from healthcare to autonomous navigation. And this particular work of autonomous navigation is something which is very unique. And this testbed is first of its kind in the country, that you have a testbed for vehicles which are both the road-based vehicles and also aerial vehicles. And this team led by Professor Rajalakshmi, has been doing exceedingly good work in the area of autonomous navigation to ensure that India not only becomes Atmanirbhar, but also becomes a leader for various countries in this particular area. Thank you very much. I once again welcome all of you for this event. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for the stimulating address. Now, I request our Dean R&D, Professor Kiran Kuchi, sir, to give a brief about R&D at IIT Hyderabad.
Thank you. It's my privilege to discuss the R&D outputs of this institute. Sir, although we are very young, as you can see, the kind of accomplishments we have achieved in a very short span of time. Sir, the ITIC Foundation of IIT Hyderabad, the technology incubator, incubated more than 40 companies, in our short journey. And sir, ITIC has more than 1.5. The innovation hub has more than 1.5 square meters space, and research park has more than 1 lakh square foot space, and we are hosting a large number of companies. Sir, we have generated more than 95 crores funding per year, and 95 crores despite COVID. You know, the faculty have worked round the clock and continued their research. Sir, in addition to TiHAN, we have a fairly large program in 5G, and we are moving beyond 5G to 6G research. We have already 110 crores committed. That's a fairly large amount of funding, sir. And we have developed a chip called narrowband IoT together with Science, one of our partner companies that helped us. And this is one of the prestigious chips that India has developed. It's a cellular 5G modem that can go into meters and sensors. And we are working with DRDO on additive manufacturing. One of our faculty is developing a unique machine. Sir, what I want to say is that in this brief talk, we may be a very young IIT, but we have begun to exceed our older peers. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the address. I now request the Project Director of TiHAN, Professor Raj Lakshmi ma'am, to give a brief about TiHAN activities.
Good morning, all. I will briefly talk about the activities of TiHAN. Under the National Mission on Interdisciplinary Cyber-Physical Systems of Department of Science and Technology, we have been awarded the technology vertical on autonomous navigation and data acquisition systems. We have set up the hub with the vision of creating technology for safe, sustainable, smart, next-generation mobility solutions. Many activities are carried out. Different core research groups have been identified where people are working on it. Most important contribution is what we saw today, the launch of Testbed. This is the Testbed that we have, which is first of its kind, which is going to be the technology development testing before actually going to the field. Here, it will be happening for both aerial as well as terrestrial vehicles. So here it has all the features that can be tested. An autonomous vehicle have to undergo. Like Euro NCAP has many use cases that needs to be tested, and all of them can be tested in this test track. So your specific use cases can be tested also, because we have Indian traffic signal, Indian traffic signs, all this part of the test bed. So it will be very useful. So different category of vehicles are being tested. Again, today we had demos in the test bed, M1 category, passenger cars. Then we have, the autonomous campus shuttle vehicle, car to car, forward warning collision, AEB, different such activities. An autonomous vehicle have to undergo before it actually goes to the field trial, can be tested and validated in the test bed. So it's very actively being carried out. And coming to UAVs, we work on different categories, starting from small. So the one which you see here is a nano category drone, which is less than 20 grams. Okay, it's mainly used for, border security forces surveillance purposes. And now it has been used also for space exploration programs. So the key thing to note here is the technology is completely in-house developed at TiHAN. All the starting from the vehicle design, and we are integrating AI ML algorithms with sensor fusion for perception actuation. So again, we are collaborating with agriculture universities for developing different kinds of applications. Being the hub, now we have also identified more spokes in different states through different programs. And we are having skill development workshops. We are conducting something called as Skin on Wheels, where we have launched, UGV and UAV kits, which can be used for training school kids also. So recently, some 2 Zilla Parishad schools, which are nearby, have been, we conducted the workshops through these kits that we have developed in TiHAN. And going to innovation entrepreneurship, we are having different programs starting from, startup funding to grant challenges. Recently, there was a review conducted by DST where, we have been identified one among the top 5 performing hubs, among the 25 hubs that DST has awarded. Our vision is that, we become one among the global leaders as well. So far, there are 30 plus global test beds such are available. We want TiHAN, IIT Hyderabad test bed to be listed globally also. And we being the first one, we want it to be the next generation. mobility solution research. Thank you so much. I'll just check. Thank you so much. Yeah, the vision is that TiHAN IITH will be the hub for next generation mobility solutions, not only India but also globally. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your address. Now, I request Dr. BVR Mohan Reddy, sir, Chairman, Board of Governors, IIT Hyderabad, for his presidential address.
Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, Dr. S. Chandrasekhar Garu, Professor B.S. Murthy, our Member of Parliament, Mr. Prabhakar Reddy, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. It is a momentous day, again, in the history of IIT Hyderabad. We had one as recently as on Saturday, when we inaugurated our School of Entrepreneurship and also School for Sustainable Science and Technology. And today we do the third one in terms of inaugurating TiHAN, which is the Technology Innovation Hub for Autonomous Navigation. A tremendous amount of progress being made by IIT Hyderabad, and who's responsible for all this progress is all of you, led by our director. So first, join our hands to thank our director for all the good work that's happening and the team in the campus at this point of time. We'd like to thank the Honorable Minister for making time to come to our facility today, sir. We wish you had some more time for us to display some more of technology. We're not very sure whether we will have one or two of our startup companies also speak to you, but tremendous amount of progress being made. So you saw the drones at this point of time, and we showed you two applications. One is agriculture, and the other is crowd control. But honestly, what we are seeing with the commercial applications at this point of time, I keep saying it's human imagination is the only limitation in terms of number of applications. We did some work in this area of agriculture. When we flew the drone actually originally, the intent was to find out where is the pest in the field. But what we found out were 64 different characters of the crop as such. So therefore, there are applications which are plenty. And what I think is required at this point of time is two things. I'll stop there after that. Number one is we need to promote more amount of startup ecosystem. We created the Entrepreneur Innovation School at this point of time. We have a number of incubation centers in IIT Hyderabad. We have 4 of them, sir, right now in IIT Hyderabad already. Very targeted, very specific to different areas. So I like to encourage our students to start looking at entrepreneurship, startup ecosystem. And a layer below that is that we're doing enormous amount of research, the research that you're seeing here. But this research has to get converted itself into innovation. You need to find applications for this work that's being done. That's one message. The second message is governments have been extremely generous in terms of giving us money. There's always this criticism that India spends only 0.6% or 0.7% of GDP for R&D and so on and so forth. I keep still saying, just forget about what rest of the people spend. Take that number and see what's the outcome of that number. So what we have to focus as researchers at this point of time is what I keep calling it as monetization of this amount of money that's being given to us. So therefore, my second message to all my researchers here is that grants cannot be one-way street. I'd like to again thank the Honorable Minister. He gave us 130 crores for TiHAN at this point of time. But this cannot continue forever, that the funds will come. What is very important is, how do we generate more funds out of the 130 crores of base that's come to us? And I'm very confident that Professor Kiran Kurchi is here, Professor Raju Lakshmi is here. All of them do such an amazing work. But I think our focus should be, how do we make best use of this money? With those two remarks, thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for inspiring us. I now request Dr. Srivari Chandrasekhar, sir, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, to address the gathering.
Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Director IIT, Board of Governors Chairman, the Member of Parliament, friends in the audience, young startup colleagues, greetings to all of you. It's an honor and proud moment for Hyderabad IIT that Honorable Minister has given us time to come and see us what we are doing here. And we had a great show of how IIT is moving towards autonomous vehicles and also how the drone technologies are growing up. Honorable Minister has been advocating that how the startup ecosystem can flourish. We are all aware that Bangalore dominates the startup ecoculture, but with the leadership of Dr. Chandra Singh ji, we are able to push many centers where these startups are happening, including in the remote parts of the Northeast and Jammu and Kashmir. DST has been funding any agency which come forward to initiate a startup ecosystem, starting from giving infrastructure and also through Technology Development Board. We are also offering small loans at very small interest. We have witnessed recently on the January 29th, when the bidding retreat happened near Rashtrapati Bhavan, a program funded by DST and TDB has showcased how 1,000 drones could be integrated, and we have seen the marvel of how the drone technologies. Today, Professor Murthy and Rajalakshmi have shown us how the drone size can be increased so that even human being can be carried in the drone facility. This drone technology certainly is going to be the game changer. Autonomous vehicles are going to be game changer, especially when you wanted to send the vehicles into places where human cannot enter, where some chemical poisons are coming out. We've also seen the kind of accident we have seen in Bhopal. How we can send unmanned vehicles with proper equipment inside the factories to minimize the accidents. Also agriculture, these technologies are going to play a very important role. On behalf of the ministry, I assure all of you that who would like to come and do some startup companies and see that you create employment, you create wealth for the country, as Mohan Reddy has mentioned, DST is there to help you to see that this ecosystem grows. I wish all the startups all the best. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for the motivating message. Now I would like to invite our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Jitendra Singh, sir, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge of the Ministry of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, a professor of diabetes and endocrinology, a consultant, clinical practitioner, author of 8 books, over 10,000 published articles in newspapers and reputed journals. We thank you, sir, for taking time from your busy schedule for our event today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Honorable Member of Parliament and our colleague, Mr. Prabhakar Reddy, Chairman, Dr. Mohan Reddy, my colleague in the Department of Science and Technology, Dr. Chandrasekhar, Director, Dr. Murthy, senior members of the faculty, students, and I believe there are a couple of startups. Actually, I've been asking about them for the last few minutes. And the moment I stepped in, I said, how many startups do you have over here? Have you any? They said around 40, and I was quite impressed. And I said, my first response was that this unmanned navigation or unmanned vehicles is going to be an emerging area for the future startups of India and globally. So it's been a learning experience coming here, actually. And I'm glad that our department, the Department of Science and Technology, has very wisely chosen to partner this initiative, which I'm sure is one of the first of its kind in the country, a state-of-art initiative, a very futuristic one. And when we were stepping in, the priest said, I have to break the coconut. And chairman, wiser and senior to all of us as he is, he said, he asked me, do you know what it means? I said, no, I believe you know more than us about all this. He said, it is driving out the spirits. And just about 5 minutes later, we had an unmanned vehicle, car moving out in the road. I said, the spirit has gone and sat there. But on a different note, what I'm trying to suggest is these are some of the activities which till a few years ago were unimaginable. You could see in the movies ghosts driving the car. And this was precisely what happened after chairman drew out the spirits from indoors. So this is actually also one of these, some of these areas which are going to give India a lead in the community of world nations. And luckily, we have a prime minister in the form of Mr. Narendra Modi, who is always forthcoming in encouraging all the science projects, all the science initiatives. And that's how it's been possible for us to spare 130 crore for this project, because otherwise the political leadership usually has a different kind of priorities. But here we have a political leader who accords highest priority. And since I am dealing with all the science streams, ranging from earth sciences to space and atomic energy, some of those initiatives which the political leadership would have hardly thought of, like we are now engaging in deep sea mission. We've already started nearby from Madras. So I think this is one of the best times happening for all of us in the science fraternity. And I also have to compliment Dr. Murthy and the IIT Hyderabad, because this is relatively a younger IIT, doesn't belong to that elite of the 5 IITs which actually are known for. And there has been for decades a long period of time when the only IIT in South India was that in Madras. But I can see when I went around, you have taken over in a big way. So it's been a constant. And I think for any education institution, what gives it distinction is, because I've been myself a teacher for more than a quarter of a century before I came into this, and Dr. Mohan Reddy was asking me, how does a medico researcher feel, amongst the engineers? I said, now the bridge has been actually amalgamated, the two sciences. We are now having so much of technology, even in medicine. In my times, they said pulse is the leader for diagnosis. Now they hardly see the pulse. And they sent you for other investigations which are technology based. But nevertheless, what I'm trying to say is, and coming back to what I was saying, for any education institution to earn identity or distinction, it has to at least distinguish itself at 2 levels. A, you have a faculty which is outstanding, which is known across the world, and which gets identified with you. You say so-and-so professor and so faculty in that IIT. The second is that you have certain departments or certain streams which are different or not available in the others. So I'm glad working on that mantra, you have initiated yourself, launched yourself, for example, something like unmanned navigation, which is yet to come into the other IITs. So that is what has given you a distinction. Like when the earlier ones came, or a small place like Kharagpur came to be known people, these students, when they would get an admission into IIT, they would take the admit card and go to the railway station and ask the station master where to take the train from Kharagpur. Nobody knew where Kharagpur is all about. But the IIT gave it a place on the map of India. So I'm sure we must have some of these initiatives which are exclusive to us. And as far as the drone and the other unmanned vehicles are concerned, because so many of the programs and schemes have been initiated by Prime Minister Modi, that this is virtually applicable everywhere. Incidentally, when we talk of startups, somehow in certain sections, the mindset gets stuck to IT, to computers. But India has a huge potential of agri-tech startups. When you talk of agri-tech startups, the drones get easily connected, which is again not being fully realized. For example, drone not only doubles your income, as being often said by Prime Minister, but it also brings in ease and facilitation of farming, which may otherwise not be possible. Simultaneously, a drone can do irrigation, it can spray pesticides, it can spray nutrients. So all the three acts together. Similarly, in tall grown crops, the traditional farmers used to have problem in harvesting. Drone can fly higher and do that for you. So I think these are the areas, because so far we have, of course, COVID taught us to use drones in medical science and transportation, but there are so much of wide applications of these unmanned vehicles that more and more we indulge in this, the more and more we are going to learn about it. And I wish I had a longer time to spend with you all, because that's my passion as well. But sometime I think we would also have a demonstration of this nature in the capital city of Delhi, so that others also get to know what it's all about. And you could also motivate some of the potential startups, because I have been insisting that now we should also try to reach out to the startups. Mostly we have the startups who come hunting for us and reach us, but there may be others who may be better than them, or who may not even be aware of their own potential or aptitude. And that's why we've also started a mentor program, and with people like Dr. Murthy around, you could do mentorship to also hunt for startups from outside the campuses of the IIT, and then bring them into the fold of IIT. That will give you a bigger pride, and also the outcomes will be richer. And as far as we are concerned in the DST, we will be there to support you. But when I say we will continue to support you, that does not necessarily mean the right has always been given by Dr. Mohan Reddy, that you will keep asking for money. We can help you otherwise also without money. Thank you.
Thank you for embellishing the event, sir. Thank you for being with us today. We are grateful for the time and effort you took to share your thoughts and experiences with us. Now I would like to invite Dr. Adarsh, who has a drone startup working with TiHAN IIT Hyderabad, to say a few words.
Hello all. For those who don't know me, I'm Adarsh. I'm a postdoc with TiHAN IITH. I believe it was exactly a year back when I joined, and I took the liberty of coming on stage. So I'm a control systems engineer. I've done my PhD in control systems, automation for avionics, aerospace systems. So back then, like before joining, I had two minds, whether to join research or the other roller coaster ride of running a startup. So I would really want to thank Raji ma'am or DST for coming up with such an amazing program, such expansive.
My idea.
Thank the minister for allowing you to definitely, sir. So the conducive environment, like I couldn't have imagined what I can achieve tomorrow, both as a researcher and for
Industry.
sure.
So that they sustain this. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Adarsh, sir. Now I request our source of inspiration, beloved Chairman, sir, to give memento to our chief guest for today, Dr. Jitendra Singh, sir. Further, I request our director, sir, Professor Murthy, to give memento to our special guest, Dr. Srivari, sir. I request our director, sir, Professor Murthy, to give memento to Shri Prabhakar Reddy, sir.
So this is different from the.
And Chairman, sir.
You would love to have this.
This is different, sir. I now invite Professor C. Krishna Mohan, sir, Dean Public and Corporate Relations, to deliver a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I stand before you to propose a vote of thanks for this inaugural event of TiHAN Testbed for autonomous navigation. So at the outset, I sincerely thank our Honorable Minister of State for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, for taking his time out and visiting our institute and campus, and gracing this occasion and delivering a, a message to the younger generation. So thank you very much, sir, for your presence, and thank you very much. So next, I would like to thank our Honorable Member of Parliament, Shri Prabhakar Reddy Garu, for gracing the occasion. Thank you, sir. So, of course, we have our, Chandrasekhar Garu, Dr. Chandrasekhar Garu, who is always there for IIT Hyderabad, in every matter, like, always, like, he supports a lot IIT Hyderabad, being a Hyderabadian. So I'm sure we are very proud and happy that you are here, sir. Thank you so much. And I also thank our beloved chairman, Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy Garu, for always giving the inspiration to the, and guiding us in taking the institute to the next level. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I thank our director, Professor B.V.R. Murthy Garu, B.V.S. Murthy Garu, sorry, B.S. Murthy Garu, for, he's been the pillar of this institute and guiding, all the youngsters, because most of the faculty are, the average age is around 38. So that way, like, he's been the guiding force behind the entire, activities in IIT Hyderabad. Thank you very much, sir. So, and also I thank all the faculty, staff, and the media, for covering this event and gracing this occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And like every good thing, this ceremony has also come to a fruitful end. I request everyone to kindly stand for the national anthem. With the permission of our Honorable Director, sir, we now mark the event closed. Thank you all for joining us.